Welcome to Melinda Noble as our speaker of the week. And Melinda, we are very excited that you're going to be talking to us today about auras. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. And I wished you happy birthday on Facebook, but I wanted to wish you in person, kind of in person. Your birthday was Friday, is that correct?
That's right, you got it.
Yeah. And you're a Leo, so
I am.
you're
I am a
fiery.
Leo.
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm
Leo.
Leo rising, so I understand that fire that you have. So yeah, it's a good thing. So
Yeah,
happy
sometimes
birthday.
it burns me. Sometimes it burns me. I
Yeah,
gotta
it
be
does. It
careful.
does. We have to be careful. Yeah,
Yeah, but I
exactly.
appreciate that.
Yeah. And I thank everyone for being here today, and you, Susan, for inviting me to speak. This is totally organic today. I teach at Spiritual Arts Institute, and I usually, of course, have a syllabus, have a checklist of everything I've got to cover in every class. But I thought today we'll just let it flow and see what comes out of my consciousness. So here we go. We hope something comes out of my consciousness. I've been with Spiritual Arts for 13 years as a student. I am a teacher there as well for the last 2 years, and I am a certified, what we call divine light healer. And that divine light healing is phenomenal to me. I love doing it on people. You bring the divine light, the consciousness into their chakras, and we use crystals when we do healing. We use a modality called template healing, where we work with the meridian system of the body to release all impingements and stressors that are in that, meridian system. Those, I forgot what they're called. Yeah, but anyway, I do a healing technique called the nerve body technique. That really is my favorite one to have done for me, because after about an hour, it takes it about an hour for all the process to work through your nerve body. We call it nerve body, your nervous system. And after that hour or so, you're like a wet noodle. You're so relaxed. It gets the best night's sleep you could ever have if you experience that. So I'm thrilled about the healing modalities. Most of it, we do in person. It's a little hard to do at long distance because we're pretty much hands-on. But maybe someday I can meet you and we can do some healing work together.
I would love that.
Yeah, exactly. I lived in that Sugar Land area. You're close to that, is that correct?
I'm actually very close to the Woodlands. I'm what
No.
you would say is I'm in the South Woodlands,
Yeah,
near
okay.
the intersection of 99 and Kirkendall.
Yeah, sure. I know where that is. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful place. But anyway, I have been a teacher now for 2 years. And what we start off in my classes learning is about the aura. When I first started with this teaching, they're called the Kingdom of Light teachings. They're based on an ancient teaching that come from the Hebrew mystics, Abraham, Moses, Isaac, all the way back, 4 or 5, whatever, 1,000, 6,000 years ago. I don't know. Long ago, if we have a course called Metaphysical Bible at the Institute, and it starts showing you how these teachings are in there. You just have to kind of dig and have a little mystical insight into different things, but it's fascinating. When I started, I knew nothing about the aura, and I had been in metaphysics 2.5 decades at least. No one ever talked about it. I didn't find any books on it, or if you found anything about it, it was that people thought it was just some bands of light, color around your physical body. And it's so much more than that. Yes, we do have bands of light around our physical body, but everything about you shows up in your auric field. What you're thinking, what you're feeling, how you're living. You were talking, one of you earlier, about the love. You needed more, or wanted to feel more love. That's going to be this heart center here. We're going to need to learn how to bring love into your heart center. It shows your karma around this heart center. It'll show your karma you were meant to work out in this lifetime. There's several areas that are support systems to the physical body to help promote physical health. It's very dense. It's very, I won't say complicated, but it's very complex, your aura. It shows your character. It shows your predominant character traits, and it shows all of your character traits. So it's very fascinating, and it's so much more than I ever thought an aura would be. We also use the chakra systems. We have many chakra systems that are kind of interpenetrating each other. We work with what we call the spiritual chakras that are deeper in the body. And they, you know, when you were doing your meditation, Susan, you said come in through the top of your head. That's exactly what we do. It goes in to the center of your head when we bring the divine light in. And then of course, they're along the spine, closer to the spine, the chakras that we use. And we use 4 major ones. We know there's more, we know there's 7, but the 4 that we use cover everything. We use the mental, which goes in through the top of the head when we're doing our meditation with divine light. We use the throat center, which we call the power of our words. Heart, I don't know if you can see, I'm pointing at my heart now. Heart chakra, we call it the hermetic chakra. And then we have a chakra down close to our navel that's called the emotional chakra. Usually in a lot of people, the chakra at the navel, the emotional center, is the weakest one they have. I really think that we, as a society, we don't know how to process our emotions. So we stuff them or we express them without thinking too much. So that's usually the one that really needs a lot of tender, loving care with the light. Any questions so far? Anything? No? Okay.
I can attest to the fact that the emotional chakra is the one that needs the most attention, because
Okay.
in my work as a psychotherapist, that's what I'm seeing on a daily basis.
Absolutely. I can understand that. Yeah. I mean, even today, I've done this so many times for so many years in person and via a Zoom-like thing. And I was a little nervous in that emotional center, just getting prepared for today and being unprepared, prepared. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to be anything but live and organic today. So, you know, that emotional center needs a lot of work. So I knew nothing about the aura. I was at a bookshop and their book, let me show you if you can see this, Change Your Aura, Change Your Life. That book fell at my feet and I thought, I guess I'll buy that. I know nothing about it. I went home, started reading, learned how to do the meditation they're teaching in it, and I could absolutely feel energy everywhere, swirling inside of me, swirling all around me. So I thought, well, there must be something to this. So I noticed a number in the back of the book and I called them to see what they were about. And it turned out this was like on a Thursday or something, that they had new classes beginning that following week. So I signed up and the rest is history. It was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. The most synchronistic, how do you say that word? Synchronistic. You know, I picked it up, I experienced it, and I joined the classes. And I had had decades of paying for workshops, paying for classes, reading all kinds of metaphysical books. But I knew within the second or third class I took that this was for me. It worked. I could feel it working, and I was already beginning to see changes in my life. Change your aura, change your life. It really is a spiritual law. That's the law of attraction. If you don't have it in your aura, that divine energy, it's not going to come into your life. We need to work with divine energy to build it within our auras. So we will be drawing and magnetizing good things in our life. And that's what we do during the meditation process is we bring in, we say divine light. Divine light is the conduit of consciousness. You're bringing in divine consciousness that's placed in the divine light. So you're really affecting change of consciousness within you. And that makes all the difference. What next? I always teach 2 techniques to help protect you. I know we all have mentioned, I think, a time or 2 in this session on Sundays, the white light for protection. That's a good one for protection. We happen to use the gold light. It's a more dynamic light. The white is magnetic and dynamic. The gold is totally dynamic. So we use it. We ask that we be placed in a bubble of 7 flows of the gold protective light. You're going to see it above you, below you, and all the way out. If you put your arms all the way out, see it going around you that big. If you do that, you can use white light. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but we use the gold light. If you do that, you're going to protect yourself from negative energies coming into your auric field. I know you've all heard this. We live in a sea of energy. Everywhere we go, we're interacting. Well, not so much lately, but usually we're interacting. We go into grocery stores, we go into shopping malls, we're interacting with other people. We are energetically exchanging, whether we know them or not, we are exchanging energy with them. We want to protect our auric field. We're going to work hard to get it in good shape, so we want to protect it. So we ask for 7 flows of the gold light to surround us and place us in a bubble of protective light. I do it sometimes when I was getting out and on the go all the time. I would do it several times a day when I would enter into, a crowded place or something. Another technique, and I was thinking of you with this one, Susan, is called closing the psychic door. Your psychic door is a filtration system that feeds into your subconscious mind. It's meant to be closed. It's right here behind your right ear. You use 2 fingers. You can feel it. If you really are sensitive, you can feel it. It's meant to be closed at all times, so it can be the filtration system it's meant to be. And a lot of times it's not closed. It flops open. Any stress, anxiety, not just everything, but stress of a substantial nature, anxiety, road rage, disappointment, it can make it fly open. And when it flies open, it does look like a blue door just kind of flapping in the wind back there. If it's open, everything that you're hearing subconsciously is going into your subconscious mind. I've had it happen to me decades ago. You'd be standing in line at the grocery store and you'd start picking up other people's thoughts. You knew you were doing it because you could feel their thoughts, their energies. And if they were really stressful thoughts, they were going into my subconscious mind without me even really being aware of it. And I was thinking of you, Susan. You deal with mental health. A lot of mental health is that subconscious area, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. I just assume that a lot of people need to clear out that subconscious mind and then keep it protected and closed.
And so what's the process for doing that, for actually shutting that psychic door?
All you say, you put your 2 fingers, index and middle, behind that right ear, and you just say, and we say it in a command because it's your auric field, it's your responsibility. When we're working with the divine light, we're making a request outside of ourselves, but this is within our being. So we say, I command
I command
my psychic door
my psychic door
to be sealed and shut
to be sealed and shut
with three impenetrable
with three impenetrable
golden white
golden white
locks.
locks.
Yeah, I see it kind of as a, when I'm doing it, as a bank vault being closed. That's just me though. I know people who are not students. I have done meetups since 2011, meetups, and then bringing my teachers in for workshops. I have taught this to many people, and whether they're students or not, you certainly can still do it. It's in the book. And they say it makes a difference. It makes a difference in especially healthcare workers. They tell me that at the end of the day, normally they come home drained of energy, stressed. All they want to do is maybe start drinking or something until it's time to go to bed and then start all over tomorrow. It makes a difference in their life. They say that they come home and they're still energized. They're not taking on other people's stuff. Using the protective bubble and keeping the psychic door closed really makes a difference in people's lives. So if you get nothing else from today, try that. Try it for a week and see if you can start seeing a difference in by the end of your day or something, if you still have some zip and zest in your life.
Excellent. I will definitely try that.
Yeah, cool. And if you need the wording again, I can email or whatever it out to everybody.
Okay.
Or you can buy the book. How about that?
Even better.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's a great book. And it teaches the meditation, all the steps to it. It teaches about relationships, how to have good relationships filled with love and joy. And there's a section on career, how to find your career that's meant for you, and a section on financial freedom, so to speak. It's just a really great, covers a lot of different areas of our life. So
Can you hold the book up one more time?
I sure can.
Perfect. I got a picture of that. I'm going to post it on the Facebook group.
Yeah, it's a great book. Covers a lot of areas of life. I use it for the class I teach, and then it's also used in another class that they teach. So we use divine light, which I said is the conduit of consciousness. We ask for different colors to come in depending on what we want to be done and changed in our consciousness, in our aura. Most of us have a very mixed aura. We have a lot of enlightened energy. We may have a lot of unenlightened energy. Anyone here today that's interested in what we're all interested in, holistic type healing, spirituality, we probably have a lot more enlightened than unenlightened, but we still need to work on ourselves. Like I said earlier, we use the chakra system. We know there's more than 4, but we use the 4, but there is one more that you can call the 8th chakra if you would like. That's 2 feet above your head. It is the first point of light of your own higher nature. It's called your higher self point of spiritual knowing. When we do the meditation, we raise our consciousness to the best of our ability to that point of light. It's like a starburst or a sunburst, 2 feet above your head, your higher self point. It's personal to you. It knows all about you. It's really a chakra point that's trying to really help you. It sends the divine light to you, and it's just working on your behalf at all times. It brings in guidance, it brings in instruction, it brings in inspiration. So it's a great point of light to get acquainted with and to feel comfortable with and be responsive to. There's other points above it that will complete your higher nature, but for now, we're just going to stop at that higher self point when we do the meditation today. Any questions? Am I going too fast? Too disjointed?
Great.
Whatever. Okay. Okay. So I want to have you experience a meditation if you're up for it. I know Susan did a lovely visualizing meditation. And Susan, where do you get those? Do you make them up?
Yeah, kind of. I just
Okay.
kind of fly with the seat of my pants, so to
Okay,
speak.
that's beautiful though. You know, we do some of that as well, but that's really, I've loved yours. Every time, every week I've enjoyed yours. So
Thank you so much.
yeah, okay. So, okay, is Leanna still here? Still with
I
us?
think she is. I think that she's just in her car. She might have turned off her video,
Okay, okay,
but she should be there.
okay. Well, I was going to share this two rays of light only today that really gets you started if you're going to use the divine light in meditation. We say change your aura, change your life. Um, we start in the mind. We start in the mental center to start changing our life. In the meditation I was going to lead you in today starts that process of cleansing and purifying the mental center. I was thinking of you, Susan, that, you know, this meditation could help you. It's in the book as well, word for word. It was given to my teacher by what we call the holy ones, the angels, the archangels. It was given to her word for word as what they see we need help with in our mental center. And it seems like it's a lot that would not apply to all of us, but it would have applied to some of us. It talks about confusions. We want to eliminate confusions in our mind. It talks about illusions. We all have illusions of some sort, don't you find?
Absolutely.
It talks about delusions. I mean, there's different degrees, of course, in all this. It talks about delusions being an issue that they see that we need to work through. It talks about images in the mind, how you can have an image and someone else comes and says, no, you're totally wrong. This is the correct, you know, idea or image thoughts. We call that, well, I have to look it up. Distorted, superimposed images, where someone is imposing their thoughts, their ideas on you. I think wishy-washy people are more susceptible to that. Everything I'm saying today, don't take it my word for it. Try it for yourself to see. You know, none of you are wishy-washy, I'm sure, but that's what a lot of people are. So it's imposing your ideas, your images, and telling someone that they're wrong, that this is the way things are. So they say that that is an issue with us earth people. There can be some distorted pictures, which is kind of like paranoia to a degree. Paranoid people, you know, can distort their thoughts, their ideas, what they're seeing. But we on my phone, he knows I'm in doing this. But all of us have a little paranoia probably. I know my mother she had such a severe fear of storms. Every storm was going to kill us all. Every storm was going to destroy the house. It was sad, but to me that's a little bit of a paranoia. I don't know, I'm not a mental health person, so I don't know. But anyway, they see that we have an issue with that. And sometimes we have mental bombardments coming at us from other people. It's not, sometimes they don't mean to, it's not always intentional, but if they're thinking about us in a negative way, and I've thought of many times, I've been married 50 years next week.
Wow.
I've
That's a
had
lot of years.
yeah, it's a lot of years. I've thrown a lot of mental bombardments to my husband through those years. So it happens even if people you love or love you, they can do it if they're talking about you in a negative way. So we want to not have that in our auric field, in our mental center, those bombardments. Another thing they see is what they call impingement. Those are more targeted. It's more from someone who might be wishing you ill will. So we want to get rid of all those from our mental center. So if y'all are, I think I've covered everything I want to about the aura, vibratory essence, very, very complex, a lot to it, very dense. It's hard to see. You really have to be a completely trained clairvoyant, mystical clairvoyant to even see and separate the different parts of the aura out. If I'm just, I don't have that gift. If I was just looking at it, it would just be kind of a blob of color to me. I wouldn't have that gift of separating it out like my teacher can. She saw the aura first time at age 3, and she trained for decades to even know what she was seeing and how to use it and how to separate all the areas out. So that's about all I'm going to say about the aura. The spiritual centers, we've gone through that. From the higher self, mental, throat, hermetic, navel, emotional center. I've taught the protection. So I guess we're ready to go on and experience a meditation. And if it's okay with y'all, that's the meditation I'm going to use, is that mental one. Because like I said, change your aura, change your life. But when you start changing your aura, it has to start in the mind. There's many levels to mind. There's many things going on in our mind. And it's in our mental center, in going into the top of our head. But it's all around. I'm going to probably say outray in all directions, because we have mental thoughts, those bombardments and impingements I was talking about. They would be coming through the atmosphere into you. So, okay, I'm going to do an invocation. I'm going to use a ray of light called the orange-red flame. Normally, we ask for the rays and they come in as just a beam of light. When you ask for a configuration like flame or fire or spiral, it comes in a little more intense. So we're going to ask for an orange-red flame. That's the purifying ray that we have to use. And what it does is, I'm assuming that all of us have enlightened, unenlightened energies in our aura. Same would go with our mental center. We have enlightened energies and unenlightened energies. We're going to ask the light to purify. The divine light, the orange-red flame, is going to break those negative energies up into it looks like soot. It's black and it's gray. And we're going to ask that those black and gray, we call them black and gray atoms, be taken into the mineral kingdom to be dissolved in the light. Part of the evolutionary plan for the mineral kingdom, part of their work to evolve, is to take the black and gray atoms and reconstitute them in the divine light. It's like the mineral kingdom is the recycling center for the divine light. So I don't want any confusions, and I don't want, when we're doing it, because I want you to just follow along and not say, oh, what does she mean by that? I want you to experience it. I do an invocation. I do say Heavenly Father, Holy Mother, God. I hope that doesn't offend anyone. It does some people I've worked with, but I'm going to do it today anyway. So we sit straight up in our chair, feet on the floor. Like Susan was saying in her meditation, it's like grounding wires into the earth, our feet. We're not going to get woo-woo and spacey with this meditation. We want to have a clear mind while we're doing it. I'm going to sit up. We're going to relax, close our eyes. I'm going to do the invocation, and I ask to put your attention, your consciousness, on that point of light 2 feet above your head. Look at it as like a sun, a miniature sun, just like the rest of our chakras are like they look like miniature suns that are spinning on an axis. Only the higher self point does not spin. So if y'all are ready, here we go. Heavenly Father, Holy Mother God, we raise our consciousness into thy consciousness, where we become one with thee. We ask to receive that which we need and that which we need to know now. Okay, with our consciousness in that great point of light 2 feet above our head, we ask that you downray from the heaven worlds the purifying orange-red flame down into that higher self point. From there, we ask that it downray into our mental center, releasing us from all mental confusions, illusions, and delusions, all superimposed, distorted, and upside down images. Let it outray in all directions, freeing us of all mental bombardments and impingements. We ask that all the black and gray atoms being released from our mental centers be taken deep into the mineral kingdom, where they will be recycled in the light. So we're just going to wait a second and try to feel that orange-red flame coming into the top of your head and working throughout, outraying in all directions to cleanse and purify that mental center. And now we request a second ray of light. We ask for the blue-white fire to downray from the heaven worlds into our own higher self points. We ask that it downray into our mental center to charge and recharge every area that was depleted with the orange-red flame, to fill it up with new divine life force energy, charging and recharging, renewing, revitalizing, re-energizing our minds. We're just going to give this a minute to work as well. Now we request that the gold light downray to protect what we have received. We thank you that it is so, and so shall it ever be. So be it. So just start coming back. If you really raised your consciousness, just bring it back down into your human aura. Now you've gone, when you raise it to the higher self, you've gone outside the human aura, reaching into the higher nature aura. So bring yourself back. And I went really fast on that when I do it, and I have to teach it in class where it's a little more rapid, but take your time. It's word for word, it's all in that book. Take your time with it. Really start feeling it working and cleansing. And then we always follow. If you ever use the orange-red flame for anything in your aura, always follow up with the blue-white fire, because we want that void filled, that was cleansed, that was purified. And like for you, Susan, you mentioned, was it grief?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Grief is, I guess, in your emotions. It can be in all your centers, actually. So I would use the orange-red flame and take it through the chakras and just release the grief. Just release. You said last week resentment about this pandemic or that frauded your plans. So grief, resentment, I would use the orange-red flame. You can, do it in your own words. orange red flame into your mental center, throat, heart, emotional, and then replenish with the blue white fire. Replenish. That blue white fire is the healing energy. The blue within it is the healing power. If you have physical illness, if you're in pain, that's the energy to use. It also has white light in it, which has many attributes within it. It also has some silver, which brings forth clarity of mind, awareness in your mind. So it's got multiple uses. So always follow up with the blue white fire if you've cleansed, if you've purified. Yeah.
I like the painting that you have right behind you. It looks like that's a representation of the meditation.
It is. It is. That was done by a really well-known metaphysical artist that we call it Lord Christ, meaning not Jesus Christ, meaning a Lord Christ. That's the universal Christ consciousness.
Wow,
So yeah.
very,
So
very
it is. We work with light in everything we do at the Spiritual Arts Institute. And it's, I'd love for everyone to say, oh, I want to be a student. And I know you're not going to, and that's okay. I want you to get the book. I want you to practice the meditations that will do you and the whole world good.
Well, thank you so much, Melinda. That was lovely.
And Liana, you mentioned your heart. If you have issues about, not feeling loved, you could use the orange red flame as well to get rid of those, that's wrong thinking right there, that you're not loved, that you're not embraced. You're embraced by source, by the divine, for sure. So just start there. We have a ray called the deep rose pink. Who would know pink love? So you can do this same meditation and bring in the deep rose pink. We always teach in the classes to bring it through all 4 centers, but in the book, it doesn't do that. So you could just bring it into that heart center, that deep rose pink, to be a healing love in your heart, that you feel bring it all throughout your auric field and just feel and ask that you feel the embrace of the divine love. So does that help you at all? And you can wear deep rose pink. Wearing the colors brings in the vibration of the divine light as well. I wore purple today. Purple, of course, is peace. I wanted to feel great peace while I was doing this, and I do. So color is important.
Beautiful.
So,
beautiful. It inspires me to even do some artwork about this healing light that you're talking about.
Absolutely. I know several people that they are artists and they do light work. I mean, they do their pictures around the light work. So yeah, beautiful. Dolores, that's online, is one of them.
Well,
I have a question.
Yes, Anita.
While we did this meditation, I saw purplish color.
Okay. That happens. It can happen because you needed purple. And did you have purple on today as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You must know you needed some purple peace today, possibly. They send us, through that higher self point, you receive what you need. You have angelic teachers assigned to you. They know what you need. I'm not brilliant about, what I need every day. I may ask for something and I may get something different. Maybe that's what was happening to you. We were doing something different, but you needed peace to come into that mental center. That's possibly it.
Well, I really love this presentation. Thank you very, very much, Melinda. I'm very
My pleasure. My pleasure.